Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Helstrom, Season 1, Episode 2, uh, Via, Vid, God, Viaticum is what it's called. So what does that mean, Viaticum? That is the Eucharist that is given to a person who is near death or dying, is what that is. I had to look it up because I fucking didn't know what it was either. So before I get started here, let me get down to some business and then we'll get to the review here. If you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down there. If you want to know when I'm be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule that's up there. I change it out every week. Should be changing it out tomorrow. And I also have all the links to all my social media on there. So Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. No tiers to on the Patreon. I'm waiting until I hit 1,000 subscribers. And then basically when you guys give me money, I give you something in return. That's what I want to do on that. Also, I have the link to this YouTube channel, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page for those of you who still have Facebook. So you can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section. All right. So this second episode, I'm getting the same kind of feeling that I got when Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It has a very distinctive feel to it. These ABC programs, these ABC Marvel shows, and it has a certain feel to it. And this is no different. This should feel a little bit different because of the supernatural aspect, but it's not. It's feeling quite the same. And what I'm not liking out of this is that you feel that they're padding out the story again. It's a very slow pace, getting to what they need to get to, and it's just plodding along and it's moving very, very slowly. And I'm just kind of going, come on, get up, get to it. Get to what you want to say. Come on, Sparky. What is it? Is Timmy trapped in the well? Come on, what is it? What is going on? And that's what we're getting with this second episode, which is, if you don't know by now, Anna is a succubus, is what this is. She we get a little demonstration of that when she's in San Francisco and she's calling about mom or mother, and we see an entire group of a flower shop basically lose its entire inventory because she sucks the life out of them. They're already dead to begin with, but still they still have a little bit of life left in them. And you get a little bit more background that she was actually traveling with her father, who was a serial killer while he was doing murder. So we also find out kind of that he was possessed or he may have been a demon. We don't know for sure because we're not getting that much information. Her mom, she ends up going to Portland, of course, to go see her mom. And and the demon, of course, it's inside. Actually, she really doesn't care about her mother, the flesh and blood mother of hers. She cares more about the demon inside, which is called Mother. And that one, the basically the demon says to her that she was actually the favorite, and that she's weak, just like her brother, is what the demon tells her, and that first generations usually are. So obviously, this has happened before. Where you've had demon offspring, and I'm using demon because honestly, I'm tired of the whole, oh well, maybe it's an entity, or maybe it's another worldly figure, maybe it's another dimensional figure, which they won't kind of commit to. So I'm just using demon, is what I'm saying, because quite honestly, that's what it was in the comics. Fuck them, that's what it should be. Damon, on the other hand, is going out to an exorcism. There's some dude that wandered out of the woods on the side of the road, kind of cut up. And another dude picked him up because, the guy said he was dying and needed a hospital, that he got hit and run. And it turns out he's actually possessed by a demon. and causes a car wreck with a big rig and all this kind of stuff. And the demon turns out to be an older demon. Magog is his name, and he's essentially telling Damon that something's been released. And this is the something that we saw in the first episode, which something was released from a crypt in Colma. And Colma, by the way, is just south of San Francisco, and it is the largest. How should I say, the largest population of dead people in the world, essentially. Yeah. They said once somebody once said if the dead all stood up at the same time, they'd outnumber the population of Colma by a lot, because yeah, it's all cemeteries out there. So yeah, there Anna had taken this weird head or skull, I should say, that was down in the crypt in Colma, and she put it in her vault. And her guy Friday Yen actually is looking. I guess the skull is talking to him, and he uses the teeth, as you see my thumbnail that I have, to draw blood from his arm for some strange reason. We don't know what it is. Blood is somehow attracted, is some way of activating this skull, which is a demon, of course. And Caretaker, I believe, calls it a um, not a care. It's a basically a keeper. So is what it is. It's something that is supposed to be guarding something. And Mother had actually sent the people down into the crypts in Colma to kill what was ever down there, and of course they released it instead. And it turns out that it is Anna and Damon's father, who's a demon. He's been released back on Earth. I guess that's what was kind of inferred. We don't know for sure if that's actually what it was, but who knows? All we know is that it's supposed to be very old. It supposedly walked the earth long before demons did, and will be here long afterwards, is what was said. We also find out that getting Anna and Damon together in the same place is not a good idea. And that's the reason why they were separated as children when they went to the orphanage. Because their powers combine and they become Captain Planet. I mean, no, their powers combine and bad shit happens. We see them arguing at one point at the hospital, and all the patients start, wailing, moaning, all that kind of stuff. The lights are flickering and everything, until Dr. Hastings, who is a former nun, slaps down her yardstick and tells them to shut the fuck up, kind of thing. So yeah, we don't know exactly where this is going still. Uh, just that it's following it a lot like Constantine in a way, or something is coming, something is going to be released. We don't know exactly what it is, um, but it's something big, and yeah, and of course, there's only two people, I guess, now that can stop it and whatnot, and blah blah blah. Yeah, so yeah, it's it's still not good. It really isn't. Um, I mean, it has the bones there, no pun intended, to make a good story. It's just that it doesn't want to use the comic, even in a perfunctory sense, if you will, of stripping out the superhero stuff, which it already did. I still don't understand why you want to use a comic book as a basis for a show and strip out all the comic book stuff out of it, if that's not what you want to use. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. It really does not. It blows my mind. It's like there's a reason why the comic works, and if you strip out all that shit just to make a generic show, a generic supernatural show or something like that, yeah, great. You're not going to get much out of it. You're not going to get a second season. That's for fucking sure. And then, of course, we have Gabriella, who is the nun or the Vatican person who was with Damon at the time. And she is able to get through to the host that Magog has taken over, and is able to speak to him for a second, even though Damon said that was probably impossible. But she was able to do it anyway. And of course, the demon reasserted control. And yeah. And we got to see Damon, exercise Magog from this guy too. And we find out a little bit too that demons mark they have to physically mark their vessels, if you will, and that's how they gain entry with lesser demons. So a major demon needs to mark a human, and that brings them. Lesser demons can enter a body. So again, this if they had set this all up to begin with in the first episode, kind of like the exposition, we wouldn't be just kind of you could get to the story in the second episode after you set up the exposition in the first episode. But yeah. And we also find out that, of course, that Damon, I guess, had worked with demons at some point in time, or was a demon, or we don't know because Magog calls him a traitor. And yeah, so he knows a lot more, I guess, than what we're hearing. I don't know. Again, yeah, it's just, being kept in the dark about this thing and a slow plotting storyline as it goes along. That's exactly it. So not great. Um, like I said, it feels like a Marvel, a Jeff Loeb Marvel series, TV, an ABC Marvel TV series is what it feels like, and just really, 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 really needs to um, ramp things up a little bit. Shake things up, make it a little bit better, and then also Caretaker is talking to someone named Esther who has cells, I guess, all up and down the coast there. And yeah, I agree with you, Jay Hicks. It does show the show does suck. Um, and she is concerned, of course, of Anna and Damien being together because, of course, we already know this. They just kind of allude to it. You need to, of course, put the pieces together yourself on that one. Some assembly was required. But the nice thing about it was that Esther was played by, and now I've got to look because, damn it. Uh, Sorry, I thought I had it queued up and I didn't. And she's actually a well-known actress. And where are we here? There we go. Deborah Van Valkenburg. And now, if you're saying, who in the hell is that? So yes, the Warrior, the actress from the Warriors. She was also in the old '80s TV show Too Close for Comfort. She's been in lots of stuff, and yeah, she was actually the girl in the Warriors, the one that was with them, as they're running back to Coney Island. Yeah. So that was an interesting surprise to see that. But yeah. Um, Other than that, like I said, I'm just kind of waiting for this to pick up a little bit and to give us, I don't know, something. You know, it's going to draw it out. That's basically what this whole series is about, is drawing out. I might just go through and just watch a couple episodes ahead of time and see where it's going to see if it's just going to really piss me off if I'm going to cover it any more than that. But it doesn't go anyplace. Okay, Jay Hicks, that's what I figured. It's Jeff Loeb, it's his last uh hurrah, I guess you could say. And yeah, I kind of figured it was going to go anyplace. Yeah. Well, there you have it. You live and learn. And sometimes, you watch a lot of crap in between. Um, what else do I have going on this week? Tomorrow I'm off. Tuesday is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. That's right, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. Wednesday, I'm going to be off. Thursday is another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And this time around, it's the Netflix series Last Kids on Earth. It's an animated series, but it is in the Halloween theme, I guess you could say, at that point. And Friday, We get something good coming out. We get the season 2 premiere of The Mandalorian. That's right, The Mandalorian returns on Friday. Saturday is another episode of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any genre stuff you guys want to talk about when we talk about it. And then Sunday, we wrap back around again to Helstrom, episode 3. We'll see if I make it past anything on that. Yeah. Because it's not looking likely at this point. It's just more or less just kind of pissing me off right now. So yes, Mando is back this week. I'm liking it. Yeah. So you said it's gonna piss me off, Jay Hicks. I kind of figured as much. I'm going into this with really low expectations into Hellstrom. Well, already, I mean, they've changed the name of the characters. They basically changed the characters themselves. They've changed a lot of shit, and I'm like, it's why are you calling it Hellstrom at this point with one L? If you're not going to actually use the material that it came from. I don't know. Oh, is it because, of all the satanic stuff that's in it? So in the 70s, the comic when it came out, Son of Satan, it came out in 73. Um, a lot of people, I should say a lot of groups, you know who they are, were saying, oh, it's satanic, it's witchcraft. And there's other groups that are going, you're not getting that shit right. You're not getting the witchcraft portion or the satanic portion right. So there's two different groups that were actually judgmental about Marvel Comics and their supernatural line. So they had Son of Satan, Ghost Rider, uh, Werewolf by Night, Tomb of Dracula. I can't remember what else. There's a couple other things too that they had going on because in the 70s there was a whole like horror explosion as well as a kung fu explosion kind of thing. So that's where you get like Shang-Chi that came out of it and Iron Fist, things like that came about from the 70s because there was a bunch of explosions of different genres that were coming out at that time. And yeah, it's I agree with you, Jay Hicks. It is pretty much garbage. So and it's kind of funny because Hellstrom was actually introduced in Ghost Rider. And there's a great episode of the a great issue of you can see Ghost Riders right behind me right here. There's a great old issue of Ghost Rider where a mysterious friend shows up on a bike and it's actually Jesus, which is the fucking most hilarious thing you'll ever see in a comic. But they don't call him Jesus; they just say he's a friend. And yeah, he helps out Johnny Blaze and all that stuff. And it's one of the fucking wackiest stories you'll ever read. But it's pretty damn funny. So yeah, because he's got to help out the spirit of vengeance every now and then. All right. With that said, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Thank you to everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down there. Also, if you can, hit that like button and the share button too while you're down there. And if you want to know when I'm going live again next, you get the bell. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule that's up there, and all the links to my social media. Also, the link to this YouTube channel is there, my Facebook page, and a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right. So, with that said, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find out that this skull that's being kept in a vault is going to talk to you and make you do really stupid things like grab a replica of Attila the Hun's axe and you're going to kill some guy and then, I don't know, use its teeth to open up your arm and all kinds of weird stuff. Not really worth it. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Tuesday. Until then, be well, stay safe, and take care, everyone. Thank you, and good night.